Hey everybody, this is Hunter Lee here, and I have a really special guest with this Huntsman Weather interview, and it is Chris Schoeller. Welcome to the show, I guess, Chris.
Thank you, Hunter. Thank you for having me.
Um, you've been highly recommended by a couple people, and you seem like a super cool person, so I thought, why not
Yeah, let's do it,
interview
man.
someone that's super cool with the whole getting into this whole new season that you're in with the USPBL. And I think I want to start off with maybe your childhood because I want to know when you started first playing baseball.
Yeah, so I started playing baseball at around age 6 years old. So a long time. I started playing at Rotary Park down in South Florida. Started playing just, T-ball, coach pitch there. Met my best friend there, Sal Zaremba. We were on our very first baseball team together, and we're best friends to this day. So, um, started off there. Grew up just playing baseball, every single day. That was my life. My dad introduced me to the game, and I loved it ever since. Just giving the game my all. Went from Rotary Park, and then I started the very first travel program at Rotary Park, which is called the Hollywood Heat. And they're still going strong today. So it was cool to start up that travel program, and they're actually nationally ranked now. So it's cool to see that progression that they've been taking at Rotary Park. And then I went from there to high school to Chaminade-Madonna in Hollywood, Florida. Played 4 years there on the varsity squad there. Had a blast there. Met a lot of great people. One of my favorite coaches, Mike Moss. I played under there for a couple years and then moved on to George Miranda, who's also another great coach that I love. So spent 4 years there and then graduated in 2018. 2018 went on to Embry-Riddle out of high school and spent a couple years there pre-COVID. Once COVID hit in 2020, that's when I transferred to St. Thomas University. Played there for 4 amazing years. Loved my time there. Loved my time at Embry-Riddle as well. And then after St. Thomas, I found myself in the USPBL playing for the Utica Unicorns. So that's kind of it summed up in a nutshell. And it's been a one heck of a ride, and I loved every minute of it.
Uh, that think that's a very good quick summary. That's awesome, and it's really cool that your travel ball team is now ranked and now is getting that national attention that you kind of started up with and kind of became a part of and kind of helped it get going. Um, when was that moment that you were like you want to play baseball professionally, or you want it to be your life and not just I'll play it, maybe it'll take me somewhere someday?
For me, it's been ever since I started playing baseball, actually. Ever since I started playing all the way from 6 years old, I really loved the game very deeply. I loved playing it, and I knew this is something that I really wanted to do professionally and wanted to see how good I can really get at it. So ever since I was that young, I've always wanted to, asking my dad to go out and throw and hit and just continue to work on my game. So for there, that love and that want to play professionally has always been there.
I share kind of the same story with weather and how I've always wanted to do it since I was maybe a little kid, or like I feel like since I was born, which is really cool that you kind of had that kind of itch you want to do it professionally since you were really young too for baseball. Um, you were talking about your high school, uh, Chaminade or how in Hollywood, Florida, and I was wondering what kind of player you were in high school. Were you a quiet leader? Were you like the hype man that would get everybody going in the dugout? Were you just the grinder that would grind and make sure he was always doing his best? Tell me what you were like as a high school baseball player that kind of shaped you to where you are now.
Yeah, I was the lead by example guy. I wasn't the one that's gonna, hype up everyone. I was the guy that showed up every single day, like you said, the grinder that would just give it all I can every single day. Support my teammates first of all. I always wanted to make sure my teammates were good. If they needed to pick me up, I was there for them. Always had their backs, and I was just try to show people, do things the right way. Show up, work hard, respect the game, respect each other, and go out there and play the game like it should be. And that's the player I was, just the guy that showed up and grinded out every single day and wanted to get better.
And that's awesome. The when you can kind of mix that quiet leader and that grinder, well, you can show that through leading and through example and really working hard. I think that's a really cool quality and a good quality to have, especially in the teenage years where a lot of people can be that show off or be the person that's trying to hype everybody up, but
Right.
might not be the most talented player on the team.
Right, right. And then I can attest that to my parents. They really taught me at a young age to do the right thing and to respect others and to just work hard every single day, and that's kind of how I just been brought up. I never been the guy that wanted to show off and boast to people, but I was just quiet about my work and got it done.
And that's awesome. When you can have good parents that could show you the way really early on and help you become that person you are today, it really shows a lot to what parents can do. And especially when you have good parents that really make sure that you go up the way that you should be. And
Hmm.
that's a great testament to your parents that you became the person you've become.
Absolutely.
And so, speaking about baseball and kind of the positions, have you always played what you've played? Have you changed positions a lot in baseball? Or have you found were you that like one position and you've just stayed in it and just continued with it?
I bounced around to a couple positions. I've always been an infielder. So growing up, I started out as a shortstop and then moved over to second base and third base. So I've always been in the infield. I caught for a little bit, but my hips don't agree with me with catching. So I kind of just stayed in the infield and stuck there. Maybe a little outfield here and there, but ever since the beginning, I've always been an infielder.
Oh, that's awesome. And I know I played second base a little bit and shortstop and played when I played baseball back and I never made it past fifth grade playing, but that's what I did was mostly like pitcher before kids pitch or second or
Yeah.
shortstop or kind of got thrown in the outfield towards the end of my baseball career in air quotes.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. I've always thought catchers are probably one of the coolest people on the team, and if not, like second base, shortstop, definitely has to be in that like top three category of positions because the pitchers are pitchers and that's what they are, and they have a personality that
Yeah.
suits them. And catchers, and I feel like second and shortstop kind of have the ability to make their own personalities and make it their style a lot different because it you can throw different pitches, you can do different things, but the style of how you catch, how you throw, how you make plays, I think dictates a lot, especially with second and shortstop
Oh yeah.
when it's the double play, it's the everything comes to second base a lot of the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's definitely a flair that middle infielders have to them. So like you said, the turn, the double plays, everyone, you got to be quick on your feet, light on your feet, and know what's going on in the game. So yeah, the you definitely have your own you have your own flair as you grow up in the middle infield, and you kind of form that around your game.
Oh yeah, definitely. Also, what was your favorite high school baseball memory? Because those high school baseball memories kind of shape who you become in college and later on to that pro career.
Oof, my favorite high school baseball moment. Um, let's see here. I can't pinpoint a particular moment, but I have to say all the years that I've had with one of my favorite coaches, Coach Moss, um, I've loved. I had him for my freshman and sophomore year, and I still talk to him this day. So I think that that time I spent with Coach Moss, he really formed me into the player I am today because he had me at such a young age. He had me at 14, 15 years old, and he was the first coach to really teach me the value of hard work and showed me what I can. He believed in me because he started me as a freshman on the varsity team and I played every single game. So he really believed in me in that way and so I think all the time that I spent with Coach Moss really was really my favorite moments in high school.
And yeah, that's awesome. And you can have a coach that you click with or you connect with in a special way that can help you mold you into that is super incredible. I also kind of going into that with that everything. Your senior year, you batted a 391, and you got All American, and all county and honors. From what I understand, too, from your senior year of high school.
Yeah, that was senior year was a special year. Yeah, I played very well. We had a really good team. That senior year team was special because I grew up with those guys too, around Rotary Park, and we played with each other ever since we were young. So that was a cool group to play with, and that senior year was special. I played very well, and my coach then was George Miranda, and he was a great coach too, and he helped me along the way throughout my high school career. So. Yeah, that was a great year.
That's awesome. And that's some really cool stats, though, you have of incredible batting average, All American, All County. Like, that's just super cool.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I want to move on to college and Embry-Riddle Aeronautics University in Daytona Beach, Florida. You really you haven't left the state of Florida until the USPBL, apparently. But what was it like stepping onto that college field for the first time at Embry-Riddle?
Yeah, moving on from high school to college, there's definitely some nerves. You don't know what you're getting into, you don't know what to expect. So I was definitely nervous moving on to the college level, but I trusted, my preparation and to get me there. And but my time at Embry-Riddle was a blast. It was great. I met some great friends there that again I still talk to today that are some of my best friends. And but leading up to that first day in college was definitely nerve-wracking.
Oh yeah, I still remember that first day for me, and like it's crazy when everything changes and you go from the top of the totem pole back to the bottom, and you have
Yeah.
to
Oh
work
yeah.
your way back up again. And what? Why did you choose Embry-Riddle? Why did they give you an offer that you just couldn't refuse? Was it just close enough for home that you weren't having to be like, I'm 8 hours from home and I can never come home? Or what was the reason why you ended up choosing Embry-Riddle to start
So
off with?
so I chose Embry-Riddle because my family also put a big emphasis on academics. They said, you're not just baseball, you gotta get a good education. And Embry-Riddle offered me a very big academic scholarship like that I could not, pass up. So I decided to go there. Plus I was interested in some of the degrees there. So I think that was definitely a school that I was leaning towards, and I ended up going to a showcase there in the fall of 2018, I believe. Yeah, and the coach liked me. We got connected, Coach Stiegel, and he offered me a walk-on spot, and I accepted it. So I think the academic side pushed me there, and plus I looked at their history of baseball, and they had a very successful baseball program. So it was kind of the best of both worlds that brought me there.
Yeah, I mean, they've always had a really good baseball team, and they're known really well they're known really well for academics, especially meteorology, which I'm in at my college now, but like just everything. So much aviation, aerospace stuff comes out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose a very cool and interesting degree when you went there. Unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, and drones, that type of system. So tell me about that. How you got into that, because I think that's really fascinating.
Yeah, funny enough, that what got me, I thought that was a very cool, path to go through for academics because I was very interested in drones and drone technology. And that kind of stemmed from, I remember I was on a high school summer tournament, just hanging out in the hotel room, and I turn on ESPN and there was drone racing on ESPN. And I'm like, man, that is really cool. And then when I got the offer from Embry-Riddle and I started looking through their degree programs and I saw unmanned aircraft systems, I said, "Oh, wow, I can have a whole degree in drone technology." And with all the companies and technology that are coming up today that are using drones, I thought it would have been a very cool avenue to go through for my academics.
Yeah, that's so cool, and something that I've always kind of been interested in too, and the like military black projects and the
Yeah.
future of like military and aviation technology has always kind of been something I've always enjoyed and loved to get into. And that just when I saw that, there was like, ooh, I'm gonna interview someone that's even got some like a really cool thing in life that he went to Embry-Riddle and wanted to do this degree, and then you still want to after pro and after if you ever want to coach pro or whatever, would you still want to get into something that's drone related or unmanned aerial vehicles?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm definitely still, even though I didn't finish the degree at Embry-Riddle, I'm still very interested in drones and drone technology. My degree I have right now from St. Thomas University is applied mathematics and data science. So I could couple that and go into something with drone technology for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely still interested in that field.
That's awesome. Another awesome STEM guy. Apparently, I pick out the STEM majors for some reason. I just have a good eye for it
Yeah.
at this point. I did an interview with Bronson Ballholm from the Party Animals recently, and he's in like he his whole degree from Arizona State was dadgum uh, aerospace engineering and physics.
Oh wow.
So it's like everybody kind of just I've interviewed, and even Ray's kind of in that STEM category too. In a way, it's like somehow I always pick the people that I somehow relate with the most without even realizing it.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely you find those kind of people that you're attracted to, which is a cool thing. And that whole STEM field is awesome. My brother, he's a mechanical engineer up here in Michigan, so he's kind of leaned me towards that field.
That's awesome, and at least you have family in Michigan now, so
Yeah.
you're not like all the way up the dadgum coast from one end to the other.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to be with family up here while I'm playing.
And so COVID hits, you decide to go to St. Thomas University in Florida. Tell me why you ended up leaving Embry-Riddle and why you made the choice to go to St. Thomas.
So, yeah, COVID hit in 2020 and all college sports shuts down. So everyone shuts down for that year. And so we can't do anything about that. And I was ready to come back to Embry-Riddle in 2021, but we got notified that the school itself is shutting down all their sports for 2021. So that kind of forced my hand because I was going on my later half of my college career without playing a full season of college baseball because I redshirted and then COVID hit. So I was going on junior senior year of not even playing a season. So um that kind of forced my hand to transfer to St. Thomas University. And the head coach there, Coach George Perez, I've known Coach Perez since I was in high school. I played high school summer ball with him. And I was actually that day I found out that Embry-Riddle canceled in 2021. I was going out to St. Thomas to work out with him to hit and take ground balls like I do every offseason with him. And I told him, Coach, Embry-Riddle just canceled their season for 21. Do you think I can transfer down here to St. Thomas? And he said, absolutely, Chris. He welcomed me with open arms, and it was to this day one of the best decisions that I've made for my college career.
That's awesome that you had someone on the inside there that was like, yeah, you can come, definitely play your rest of your college career there. And would you say when you made it over to St. Thomas that the team chemistry at St. Thomas was different than Embry-Riddle? Was it better? Was it worse? Was it just a different atmosphere altogether?
Uh, it was a different atmosphere because definitely being down in Miami, Florida, you have more of that Latin culture than Embry-Riddle, but different team dynamic. I wouldn't say it's different because as for me, I kind of just gel with a lot of for every team I've been on, I've never had, any problems with any of the teammates. So I loved my team at Embry-Riddle. But at St. Thomas, I knew a lot of people at St. Thomas, and I've met, people that I call my brothers now at St. Thomas University, that I just enjoyed every year there. And I loved every moment. Again, I mentioned Sal before that I played with him since I was 6 years old. He was at St. Thomas too, so I played college baseball with a childhood friend as well. But yeah, at St. Thomas, I definitely enjoyed my time there.
But that's awesome. And it's really interesting to me to go to a Catholic university in Miami with such a party culture that is down there in Miami
Yeah.
surrounding it. I'm like, that's got to be one interesting experience going to a Catholic school when Miami is just constant partying. You're not too far from South Beach. You're not too far from the clubs, the bars, and you're just everywhere. And it's just right there in your fingertips.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time down there. It's sunny and hot all year round. You're close to Miami, but being at a Catholic university, we keep our faith, very at the forefront of our time there. And but we know how to, separate the two. We know how to have a good time and also put our faith at first over everything.
That's awesome. And I'm a big faith guy myself, and I always like to hear about people's faith, and it's cool when people are just open on about sharing it. And I kind of want to move on to your summer ball experiences. I saw that you were with a couple different teams and a couple different leagues, and I kind of wanted to hear how that all happened.
Oh yeah, college summer ball is a great time. I started my college summer ball career in the South Florida Collegiate League with the Phipps Park Barracudas. And I played with them for 3 to 4 years, and that was a great time. I learned a lot over every summer with them, with Coach Justin Sizemore. Shout out Dece Baseball. If you're on Instagram, look up Dece Baseball, DECE, and then the word baseball. He's got a little brand going, and he's awesome. He's also very open about his faith, and he ties his faith in with his clothing brand, which is very interesting. But back to the summer ball. The summer ball is great. I played at the Barracudas in the South Florida Collegiate League again for 3 to 4 years, and then I played in Virginia with the Winchester Royals in the Valley League, and that was a really cool experience because that was the first time I was away from home for summer ball, and I loved all my college summer ball experiences.
And that's awesome. And you said that you got to be at home most of the time for a summer ball, except that one year on that one team in Virginia. How was it like living with your host families and your teammates when you've been kind of close to home and like halfway up the coast now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Living with a host family was great. It's a great experience because these families are kind enough to open their homes to honestly complete strangers that they have no idea, who they are, just some college baseball player that comes to live with them. But throughout the summer, you form a relationship with these host families that can last for a long time because, they come out to the games, they love watching you play. And being with a host family is definitely an experience, and you form great relationships throughout the summer.
And that's awesome. And I think that's so cool that they do host families and you're not just put in a hotel, you're made to get an apartment, but you have people to rely on and know that it's not just your teammates.
Yeah.
Um, do you think your game grew quite a bit and you became a better player because of summer ball?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think summer ball is something that every baseball player should do, at least for at least half the summer. Because I know it can be a lot of playing with a full spring season and then going right into summer ball. But summer ball for me, I believe, is a time to experiment, to try different things so you can get better and prepare yourself for the school season. So yeah, I think I definitely grew a lot over every year for summer ball.
And that's awesome. And summer ball team is super cool. I've kind of always tried to follow some of the leagues like the Coastal Plains League or the Northwoods League with because they have such fun team names like the Florence Flamingos or uh, the River Rapids and like some of the coolest names that you don't really get unless it's a minor league baseball team in
Yeah,
like 1A or 2A when they're like the fun, crazy names.
yeah.
But yeah, some are all so cool and kind of want to move on to what's going on right now, USPBL or the United Shore Professional Baseball League. Thank goodness there's a daggum acronym for it. But you're with the Utica Unicorns. That's got to be definitely an experience. It's got to be crazy having like unicorns as your team name.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely thought it was an interesting name when I first heard about it. But like you said, like all the fun names, I'm all for it. I think it's something cool instead of just a generic name. It's something interesting. It's something fun that fans can get behind of. So I'm all for it. I love the name.
Plus, also, unicorns, not really real, mythical creatures. And I feel like being like, you're like one of a kind. And I feel like as a team that's called that, each player can be that like one of a kind person like you are and the way you are as a person. I feel like it kind of fits you. And I feel like that's kind of a cool way to be like, I'm one of a kind and I'm a unicorn.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. That's an interesting way to look at it, and I like that a lot. I like that a lot. That was very kind for you to say. Yeah, I think it's a great program, great league, and I'm very blessed to be here.
Um, so what motivated you to join the USPBL?
So I've had a couple connections to the USPBL. My team manager, Jake Scicluna, back at St. Thomas University, Utica is his hometown. So he was a intern for 4 years, I think 3 or 4 years back in high school when he was here. And he told me about this league, and he thought it would be a great fit for me to get my foot into professional baseball. And so he gave me all the contact information to all the teams and the league. And I started, I sent them all emails saying I would love to come play for the league if there's a spot open. And Jim Essian from the Utica Unicorns contacted me back, asked me for my information, and we connected. And he brought me onto the team. And also, a really cool thing is my college coach at St. Thomas University played for Jim Essian when he played professional baseball. So I got a couple connections to this league that really brought me here.
And I don't know if you knew Ray Ortega before the USPBL and what he's done this year, but he's also from Miami too, which is kind of a
Mhm.
funny coincidence. But when did you join the USPBL? Did you join this year, or when did you become a part of the program?
Yes, this is my first year. Yeah, this is my first year, and I've been having a blast so far.
It looks like it from the spring training photos and stuff for the social media team. But with it, what do you think the chemistry on the team and just the whole like league is right now, trying to come into this new like real baseball, real fun, this kind of changing in its 10th year, trying to make big changes to make things more entertaining and everything.
I think the real baseball, real fun movement is great. The chemistry of the league is great. Um, all the guys, even from all the teams, have really come together and really got behind this movement of engaging with the fans and making, games more personal for the fans. And I think it's a great movement that we're putting on here. Again, the games are fun. We're having a blast out playing the game, obviously, and we've only got positive feedback from everyone. So I think the chemistry throughout the league has been outstanding.
And speaking of kind of the movement, that kind of started with a new guy they brought in, Ray Ortega. He's been with the Savannah Bananas. He's also been with the Giants organization too, and he also was a part of the USPBL in a old lifetime, a long time ago. So him coming back to the organization and changing things, what has your experience with him been like? And as I've known him and got to meet him and interview him, tell for people that don't know him and haven't seen my interview with him in the past, how is he like when you're around him during practice or game day? How is he? Pretty chill? Is he like, let's do this, but have fun, or how is he?
Yeah, Ray's a great guy. Great guy. He's always encouraging us to be ourselves, to go out there and have fun playing the game. He's definitely upbeat a lot. He's given us ideas of, maybe celebrations to do, either like when we get a big hit or make a play or home run. So he's definitely upbeat on game days, but he also knows a lot about the game of baseball. So he's helping us with he's helping all the hitters with the league sharpen up their games. So he's doing a lot that behind the scenes that people don't see. But it's all been everything's been great. He's definitely that upbeat guy that keeps us going and continues to remind us that have fun playing the game and just be yourself.
And that's the coolest thing is he always wants people to be themselves. He makes that big deal. He's always really positive, and that's really good to have in an organization that's having rapid changes to make baseball more fun. But it's the same rules, and it's nothing's changing about the game. You're
Correct.
just making it entertainment. You're making it fun without the gimmicks.
Correct. Yeah, we're not playing, banana ball. I love what the Savannah Bananas are doing. I think that is amazing, bringing more people to the game. But yeah, Ray wants to keep, the play on the field, traditional baseball, but adding those entertainment aspects to it as well. That doesn't change the game, and I'm all for it. I love it.
And just a couple things to go. Really I noticed that you are married to an amazing wife. It seems like, and I just want to know like how you met and how your relationship started. And just tell me the story of how you and your wife got together because I just thought it was a really cool thing from what I've seen on your Instagram.
Yeah. Well, not married yet. I am engaged. Not married yet, but the wedding is coming soon. But I met Kayla. Kayla is my fiance, Kayla Garcia, and she's my better half. She's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I met her back in high school, so we are high school sweethearts at Chaminade, and we just been growing together in this life and growing in experiences, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds for us. She is currently now she's graphic designer for the Florida Panthers, the hockey team. So she's
Holy cow.
yeah, she's doing some great stuff with the Panthers, and so hopefully they continue to keep going throughout the playoffs. But she's great. She works so hard. She graduated from Savannah College of Art and Design there, so she's going through her own experiences of life, and we're just growing together and loving every year.
That's awesome. SCAD is so cool, and there's so many cool things with SCAD and at the campus in Savannah and everything. I'm sorry, I thought you got married. I thought from the
No, no,
pictures and
no.
stuff,
It's
it looked
it's
like you
coming
were
soon.
married.
Don't worry, it's coming soon. But yeah, we're engaged right now. Engaged.
Um, and I saw your proposal. It looked like you went all out. Tell me about how you planned that.
Yeah, the proposal was great. Me and her parents planned that out. She always told me that when I proposed, she always wanted fa her family to be there. You know, it didn't want to just be us because it's not just us coming together, it's both our families, which I think is a beautiful thing. So I talked with her mom. I said, you know, I really want everyone to be there. You know, her cousins that are really close to her, her brother, my family as well. So we planned this whole thing out where I would take her to dinner to a nice restaurant. We went out to dinner, and then as we're at dinner, they're setting up the house. We had that archway, if you look on my Instagram, and they put flowers and candles around it, and then the "Marry Me" letters at the bottom. And so I would text her mom, hey, I'm on the way back, you know, get everyone ready. So on the way back, everyone set up, you know, on the side of the house, waiting for us to walk in. And as I walked in, where they had music playing and everything was lit up, and it was a beautiful scene. And as I proposed to her, everyone was there. So it was an awesome day.
Sounds like a literal fairy tale.
Yeah, yeah, you could say that.
And now you're a player for the Unicorns, so it's just like you're full on living a fairy tale at that point.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm engaged to my dream girl that I always wanted and playing professional baseball. So life is great right now.
As a unicorn. So it's like you got the whole
Yeah.
fantasy fairy tale princess and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
prince. You've got everything going on, and I think
You
that
got
is
it.
so awesome.
You got it. That's exactly what it is.
Um, I like to ask people, and I like to get in depth, and people don't always show who they are on Instagram or social media all the time. And I'm curious if you have any hobbies or passions that people don't know about you.
Me, I'm not really, you know, out there. I don't have any too crazy hobbies. I just love spending time with my family and friends. I love, you know, spending quality time together. I do love to go fishing if I have the opportunity with my dad. We love to go fish all the time down in the Everglades. Um,
Ooh,
but yeah, but I really don't have these any crazy hobbies. I love playing, you know, golf with my brother. My brother loves playing golf, so I tag along with him when I can, when I visit him. But I would say, you know, the one thing that I love to do off the field is just to spend time with my family and friends and do whatever we feel like having fun that day and just in enjoying each other's company.
that's awesome. And I love the Everglades. By the way, it's that in the bayou in Louisiana. There's something about it that is so cool to me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I do you like the brackish water slash freshwater fishing more? Do you like kind of, or do you like to do sea fishing, deep sea fishing, the saltwater style? What is your favorite?
I'm definitely the backcountry type of guy. I like going to Thousand Islands, which is all the mangroves and all that, fishing for redfish and trout and stuff like that. I get a little bit of seasick, so I don't like going out to deep sea fish. So I kind of just stay more inland and fish the mangroves.
You get the alligators and the crocodiles that way too.
Oh yeah, yeah, you definitely got to watch out for those.
Um, you ever have a job outside of baseball?
For me, no, not yet. Not yet. I haven't had any jobs. Just coaching stuff probably. I've helped out with I was a graduate assistant this past season with St. Thomas University. So I was helping out coaching there. I've coached some little league teams here and there, and that's kind of about it. But mainly just have been focusing on baseball, basically up until this point.
That's awesome. And what's something most people assume about you that's totally wrong?
Something that most people assume about me that's totally wrong. I've gotten that they feel like I'm a very serious person all the time, which is kind of like the opposite. I'm really, try to be, a positive, go-lucky guy that really wants to support others and make sure everyone's good. And, I'm not totally serious all the time, but I have gotten people like, hey, Chris, I feel like you're just serious all the time, which is completely wrong. I'm not. I try to be a upbeat guy with everyone.
Which apparently I've assumed the same thing because I was even said, "Hey, wear something that's baseball like," and you come in wearing a polo, looking all serious like it's a full on job interview.
Yeah, yeah, no, I really didn't have anything. I didn't have like a headband or anything, but yeah, that's something that I've gotten from people.
And and I like when people can act serious, but they also can be very non-serious and seem
Yeah,
like someone to become friends with and just to have fun with. And hopefully, I can meet you sometime soon too.
for sure, absolutely.
But this is kind of something I've kind of been doing and want to continue with these Huntsman Weather interviews is have like some interesting like weather related funny questions that will probably help your non-serious self come out a little bit that I think is really cool.
Okay.
Um, what's your favorite type of weather to play baseball in? Do you like it like hot and sunny? Do you like it overcast and a little breezy? What's your
Oh yeah.
tell me you're like you're the best you're like your dream baseball game. What would that weather be like?
My dream baseball game is sunny and 75. That's it. Not too hot, not too cold, but definitely sunny, and 75 degrees out, perfect weather. I don't like the cold, I don't like rain, I don't like when it's extremely hot, but sunny and 75 is perfect baseball weather for me.
Ah, so this the next question is really interesting too. Would you rather play at 100-degree heat or 40-degree cold?
Oh, there you go. So if I had to choose between hot and cold, I'm going hot for sure. Definitely hot.
So do you want? So I'm gonna follow this up with a since you're from Florida. Do you want like southeast heat with the humidity, or do you like the kind of Florida coastal heat that's you got the sea breeze and it's kind of just not as humid and you're not like full on sweating like crazy?
Yeah, the humidity is definitely tough in Florida. I would like, that can take a toll on you. So the heat without the all the humidity in Florida is nice. So yeah, I would take the heat without humidity definitely over with humidity.
And that's really crazy because you can be in Orlando and it's 90 something degrees and it's like stupid humidity outside and you're about feel like you're about to die.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
you can be on the coast like Hollywood or Fort Myers and it be like 85 and you got the breeze and it's not bad at all.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Let's see. Assume if you were a type of weather, what would you be and why?
Ooh, a type of weather. Uh, I would have to say the weather that I love playing baseball in. Just a nice calm day, nothing too crazy, nothing too hot, cold, nothing like rainy, but just a nice day that you can enjoy. That's the type of weather I would be.
And you already kind of answered this question earlier, but if you weren't playing baseball, would you would you look into doing like a meteorology type job or kind of in the science field? And I know you said you've kind of got that applied mathematics. So it's you kind of like in that science field anyway.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I would definitely go into something with STEM. Meteorology, I think, is very interesting. I know one of my buddies loves meteorology. Um, but I could definitely see myself going to something in that field for sure. I'm open to a lot of things, for life after baseball, and I'm not sure what avenue I'm going to take, but I'm open to it all.
And that's awesome. And we honestly got two questions left. This one, since you live in South Florida and you grew up in South Florida, you might have a few good ones. But have you ever been caught in a crazy weather event? Hurricane, tornado. Like
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
got some good stories.
Oh
Since
yeah, definitely hurricanes for sure down in Florida get crazy. There's hurricanes down south that you lose power for, a couple days up to a week, and you gotta either take cold showers and open the windows and because you have no AC. So yeah, there's times where definitely we lost power for a good amount of time. I remember one time in early high school, because I live in like a mobile home, I guess area. So you can't stay there for big hurricanes because your house might get blown away. So there's times where we have to go rent a hotel room for the time being until the storm blows over. But house is still there, so thank God throughout all the storms. But yeah, there's times where you lose power for a good amount of time, and it can get uncomfortable with no AC.
yeah, since you're from the Hollywood area, you probably have had to deal with Ian, Irma,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all some of those ice storms that like to come across Fort Myers and come and swipe into the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood area.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We've dealt with all those, and they've definitely left their mark on Florida for sure.
And I've got the chance to accidentally be in a hurricane or two myself already in life, even without the degree. But it's a very interesting experience. And I do got one last question, and I'm gonna go right back. I'm gonna end it off with a USPBL question. What were your initial thoughts joining the league, and how do you feel that now being able to play a couple games already, is it anything like you expected?
My initial thoughts when joining the league were well, I knew I was coming into playing professional baseball, which, playing professional baseball anywhere, coming to a place where there's going to be great competition. So I knew I had to be prepared. So I trained really hard before getting here. And now that I'm here and seeing that hard work has paid off because, I'm doing well right now. I'm enjoying where I'm at. Um, Now that I'm here, it's just been a blessing. That's all I can say. It's been a blessing. Enjoying the time out there playing ball and in front of the fans. It's been great. So nothing short of a dream come true.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. It's been really great getting to know who you are and learning where you came from and who you are now. And maybe we'll have you back sometime again. And maybe I'll end up in Michigan this summer and I can interview after a game and ask you what your thoughts on a game or something is. I'll thank you, everybody, for getting to uh, watch this and listen. And go hit Chris up. What? Tell everybody your Instagram handle.
So my Instagram is Chris_Schoeller. So CHRIS_Schoeller, SCHOELLER. And then my X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, is all one word, Chris Schoeller. So those are the two main platforms that I use.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. Have a good day.
Hunter, thank you for having me, man. Have a good one, all right?
Sounds good.
Bye. Bye.